What's up guys, Mike here with Padbangers.com. Today it's all about this little box right here, the Waldorf Streichfett String Synthesizer, a digital synth that tries to emulate all those great sounding string synthesizers from the 70s. And I'm gonna hook it up right now, give you a quick overview over the hardware, playing some demo sounds for you, and then we will see if it's really that good. Stay tuned! So here it is, the Waldorf Streichfett, or Waldorf Streichfett as it's pronounced in proper German. And let's talk about the name real quick, because I think a lot of you guys don't know that this is actually a cool German wordplay. Because Streicher in German means strings in an orchestra, and fat means exactly the same like in English. So on one side it means fat strings, and on the other side, Streichfett defines products like margarine and butter, like stuff you can, like fat you can put on your bread. So that's a nice little wordplay right here. Now to the synth itself, it comes in the same housing like the Waldorf Rocket and the Waldorf 2-pole. So you have like a thick plastic housing with an aluminum front plate. On the back you have a headphone jack output, you have 2/4-inch outputs, USB and MIDI in out, no CV out or anything like that, because this is all digital right here, no analog. And when you look on the front plate, you see it's pretty much straightforward. You don't need to be a synth master to understand what's going on here. So the whole front plate divides into 4 sections, which are the string section, the solo, the effects, and the memory section. And plus the volume knob on the top left. And for the volume, I have to say, if you crank it all up, you can hear a little bit of noise. So for the registrations, it's pretty straightforward. You have one knob to control your instruments in the registration section here. So from the 0 position of the knob, it starts with the violin, then it goes to viola, cello, brass, organ, choir. And the more you dial in here, some different choir variations, and the more you dial in, all the other instruments coming blend back in until it's fully open, and then you have kind of a church organ sound here, or pipe organ. On the left there's a switch, so you can decide if you play 1 octave above or below the note you're actually pressing. You have this crescendo option right here, which is nothing else than an attack and release button. And now the ensemble button makes everything different. So without the ensemble button, everything sounds a little thin, and yeah, but with the ensemble, it gives it that kind of a thick chorus effect and makes it all really, really fat and massive. And you can decide if you want to put the ensemble effect to the strings, to the chorus, or on both of those. In the solo section, you have the tone knob, which works exactly the same like the registration, so you can blend through the different instruments. It starts with the bass, then it goes to E-piano, clavi, synth, and Pluto. With the tremolo effect, you give it like kind of a more depth. There's also a split function. That means you can decide in middle position, you can play the solo section across the whole keyboard. If you put it on low, you can only play the lower half of the keyboard. If you put it on high, you can only play the solo instruments on the upper section of the keyboard. Also, there are attack, which the first part of the attack knob controls kind of a percussive sound. The more you open it up, the longer it gets the attack. And also there's a decay or release button depending on the switch above it. If it's on the left, the release is set to 0, so you're controlling the length of the sound with the decay. If you switch it to the right, decay is always 100%, and you're just controlling the release of it. Now on the bottom left you have the effects section, which has 3 effects: animate, phaser, and reverb. Now you don't have to decide between those effects. You can use them all, but you only have one knob to control it. I mean, if you put it on phaser and dial in like this amount right here, and you go to reverb, you can set it to another value and it won't affect the phaser setting. But if you go back to phaser, you will adjust by turning the knob, you will reconfigure the whole thing. Animate is kind of a modulation that's blends through modulates the registration for the strings here. And yeah, that's basically it. For the memory section, you have 4 banks. You have 3 banks with 4 memory slots, so you can save up to 12 presets, and you save them by just holding down until it starts flashing, and you recall it when you hit it one time. So that's it, pretty straightforward, but for this little amount of controls, you can get pretty cool sounds out of it, and I'm going to show it to you now. Alright guys, so here's my verdict on the Waldorf Streichfett. Um, is this synth for everybody? Definitely not. But if you're into the sound of those 70s string machines and you can't afford spending thousands of dollars on a real one, this might be your perfect solution. Because sound-wise, it's just fine. It's massive, warm, and fat sound. It's decent quality. Besides the little wobbling knobs we already know from the Rocket. Um, and another downside is, especially in the release of the sound, you can hear a little bit of noise, but put an EQ on it and you're good to go. But I hope they will improve the sound a little bit in a future firmware update. That would be really nice. And for the price of a plugin, you get really good hardware here. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna keep it, and because it's so much fun using it in the production, and I love the sound of it. And as long as I can't afford an Op Quadra, this is my synth. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Do you own the Streichfett? What are your experiences with it? And what do you think about it? Shoot me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Also, check out the Producers Hangout Facebook group and YouTube channel. I'm running it with a few other YouTubers here. You probably know Ken Flux Pierce, Kev West. We have lots of cool guests. It's a bi-weekly show. Check it out, the Producers Hangout. That's it so far. Mike, padbangers.com. Peace out.